You want the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
Build it and they will come. This is a New Jack City, homie. Turn up your sound component wherever you are right now.
We jack up the volume, we'll be able to tell what you had for lunch.
The next hour is going to change everything you think you know about building your business, starting your business, and raising the money for your business.
Show me the money! Well, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reg.A Money Show. I'm Ron Costa, live in the Reg.A Money Show studios with Miguel Dotris over the iHeart Radio Network, among others. Miguel, how are you doing today?
I am hot, baby. I am hot, 111 degrees, and we are burning up in the Reg.A Money Studios, Ron. We are on fire.
We're on fire. We have a heat advisory here. It's hot outside. Reg.A is hot. Everything is hot. So we can't complain about that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm actually, Ron, a little bit now when we take our break, I'm going to go outside. I'm going to go and make us some eggs out there in the parking lot on top of the hood of my car. I think it's so hot.
Yeah, join the line. There are people doing that.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah,
that's great. But Miguel, listen, we have a really good show lined up for everybody today, don't we? I mean, this is going to be a real interesting one, and it's going to be a show that's going to build on other shows because we have a new feature that's coming up now with our contenders. Isn't that right?
Yeah. No, we're here on the Reg.A Money Show. We are turning it up. And we are lighting it up, Ron, because, not only are we now featured on the iHeart Radio Network, we're also on iTunes, we're on the Spreaker and the Stitcher platforms, so we are getting all over, Ron. And not only that, Ron, but, we're getting our listeners to start sending us feedback. We got a segment that we got the Contender that's coming on. We have a special guest for you guys, as always. Ron and I are always delivering to our listeners because we believe in what we're doing. We got a friend of the show who's going to be joining us in the second half of the show, Carl Dilley. You guys are probably very familiar with Carl Dilley. Carl is one of those guys who has his finger on the pulse of the capital markets. He's an officer of a public company. He also runs a couple of sites. And the guy is going to come on and talk to you guys and us about a little bit about this FINRA's OTCBB. Ron, this is like another market, and I think that tying it into Reg.A, I think that this is going to be another great opportunity for Reg.A companies to have another market that they can go to have their companies quoted on. So that way the Reg.A stock that's created after a Reg.A offering can be quoted on another exchange and listed and provide the access to capital that the companies are looking for the liquidity that the investors are looking for. It's a great thing. And so what we thought we'd do today is we bring on Carl, because Carl does some transfer agent work. He knows the market maker market, and he's also a public. He's an officer of a publicly traded company. So I thought it would be a great guest to have. And then also, we're going to be introducing that contender because he's coming on in the second half of the second half. Listen to that now. But he's going to bring on some information about his exploration business, which is really cool. And we're going to wait till Carl tells everybody about that. But, I just have to say that it has a lot to do with finding treasure, hardy treasure. So we'll let Carl tell us about that, Ron. And then what I'd like to do, Ron, before we break away, because we're coming off of our 1-year anniversary show, I don't know if you guys had a chance to tune in or not, but if you go to regamoney.com, okay, or go to iHeartRadio or go to iTunes, you guys can check out that show. That show was pretty incredible. I got to turn the tables on Ron, and I did a due diligence segment with Ron, which I thought was pretty damn cool. And so you guys, we got some stuff that's coming up to you. And then one of the great things, Ron, that I'm super excited about is this new incoming mail segment that we got. We got this incoming segment mail, that I think we got a sponsor lined up for it pretty soon. So you guys, this incoming mail segment is going to be being brought to you by, we got a real strong sponsor that's coming on board. But Ron has a letter that he received in the incoming mail, and I got a letter that I received that we're gonna address it real quick, and we're gonna talk a little bit about it, and then and then we're gonna go into our break, and then we're gonna bring Carl on. What do you think, Ron?
Yeah, no, we'll definitely do that. Anyone can submit a question to the show from the website. Reg.A is a place where you could just scroll over there and it'll pop up, ask a question, and you can fill out the form, fill it out, and ask us a question, and we will try to address on the show, just like we're going to do right now. So here it is, Miguel. This question came in from Kevin from Chicago, Illinois. I'm going to read it word for word, okay? So here's his question. With all the costs involved in doing an offering, including audit, legal, SEC, etc., why don't issuers just go for the maximum with Tier 2 of $50 million for every deal? Why raise just $1 million when you can go higher and get even more money for expansion or whatever? So that's his question.
Kevin, that's Kevin, right, from Chicago?
Yes, well, yeah, we're not going to use last names, but Kevin. Yeah.
No problem. Kevin from Chicago. That's an excellent question, my friend. And we first of all appreciate you listening and taking time to listen to the show and taking time to formulate that for us. But here's the main reason, Kev. A lot of people, a lot of these companies that are looking for capital, you don't want to find yourself outside of the market, right? So what I mean by that is, you're looking at anywhere between $100,000 to $200,000 to pull off a Reg.A. And I'm talking to you in regards to all the compliancy that you spoke about, plus a little bit of marketing, plus all the other stuff that you're going to have. You're looking anywhere between $150,000 to $200,000 to do that. Now, why don't people try to blow the doors out on this thing? Is because, one, it's very simple. Their business model does not require that type of capitalization need. And also, there is a sweet spot in this market. The sweet spot in the market is anywhere between $5 to $20 million. That's where the investors that are looking at these Reg.As are looking to invest in. They're looking for companies that are looking to raise $5 to $20 million. Now, if you went out and you said, I'm trying to raise the maximum, right, it doesn't allow you any room to fall back on. So if you don't raise that $50 million, okay, then it's going to look like you didn't have a very successful offering. And also you have to remember, Kevin, that $50 million, that's in a 12-month period. So a lot of these guys, what they're doing is they may go out for $1 million, then come back in on another, because your qualification is good for as long as you keep your financials up to date, okay? So you're keeping reporting to the SEC. You report to the SEC semi-annually and annually under the Reg.A, and this is a non-trading Reg.A. So once you're trading Reg.A, you can't go and do another offering, right? So the initial IPO can go any time in 12 months and raise the maximum of $50 million. So you could take a whole year, okay, or you could take 2 years or 3 years, as long as you need it. And as long as you don't raise $50 million within the 12-month period, you can continue to do your IPO. That's a very important distinction about Reg.A, especially Tier 2, because you are considered a fully reporting company, and as long as you don't, pull symbol, you can continue to raise money throughout the course of the year, as long as you don't reach that threshold. That $50 million threshold is set there, so that way no company goes above that in a 12-month period. But companies like to kind of tier up to that. They like to not plateau at 50, but they would like to work their way up to that, so that way they could have some cash flow management, and then probably see it that, that large sum of money, coming in, and that could also be a hindrance to companies' growth, So what you want to do is you want to have a nice balance. And also having that balance too, Kevin, will give the investors who came in on the very first Reg.A, you got to remember now, 30% of all your current investors can participate as selling shareholders as you continue this rollout. So, you can continue to sell that 30% of the initial founding shareholders, or the shareholders that participate in the offerings. They could also roll out a little bit of their money. So that would give everybody an opportunity to have a liquidity, but then also the company to have some access to capital that they would not necessarily have if they were just doing, like a private placement or a 504 or 506. And then, Ron, my guy's name is Anthony, and Anthony comes from Atlanta, Georgia. And his question, and I'm going to read it just the way it came in, is how do you pick or choose the right audit firm for your PCAOB audit? And, and for me, I think, Anthony, what you want to do is you want to find some people that have done this before, like coaches, so that way they can refer you to a few people that they've worked with. This is a very small community under PCAOB. This is not your traditional CPA guys. These guys are another level of a CPA. They're approved to practice in front of the SEC and FINRA, so they report to the SEC. And when you're doing that, you should look into like the Reg.A funding group. They have some great links. You might want to call them and find somebody like that can kind of take you through that path and find you the right. Depends, because look, you could be in oil or you could be in technology. And if you came to me and you say, hey, Miguel, who's the best person to work with, when it comes to PCAOB audit, I got a technology company. And I'd say, there's a one firm out of New York that I would recommend you to. And then if you were in oil and gas, there would be another firm that I'd recommend to you out of Texas. So, there's a lot of different things that you need to look at. But one thing for sure is that you need to build that network of professionals. We've talked about that, and we've had plenty of professionals on this show. So you've gotten to know a few of them, Anthony, if you've been listening to the show. If not, go into the archives, because we've had 2 or 3 that have come on with us that have explained the process of the PCAOB audit. So, guys, keep the letters coming. It's a great thing that Ron and I are doing for you guys. We'd love to hear from you guys. We're calling this the incoming mail segment. If you are a business owner and you are hearing this for the first time, hey, give us a call. We'd love to have you and put your name on the incoming mail segment if you want to do that. We would love to have some more sponsors on the show. And as you guys know, we only bring the very best here on the Reg.A Money Show. And then, Ron, I'm telling you, today's show, the second half of this show, is going to be incredible. I mean, if you think you get some information on the first segments of these shows, wait till you hear what Carl has to say about the OTCBB market.
Yeah, it's going to be big. So, so why don't we just take a really quick break right now, Miguel, and then we'll come back with Carl and the contenders. How's that sound?
That sounds great. Hey, everybody, you're listening to the Reg.A Money Show with me, Miguel Dotres, and Ron Costa. Stay tuned. We're coming back with another segment.